I have no ladies.
No, but you're like I used to be when I was doing photography. You're surrounded, you know, a lot of hot ones that want nothing to do with you.
Man, preach, brother.
There's so much. I was surrounded by absolute rockets. Where I was the king of friend zone.
I came in. Yeah, just president of the United Friend Zone Foundation. Well, for those of you that might get clips and pieces of the first 4 minutes, welcome to the All Angle Podcast.
I'm not sure we want that.
There's not a lot we're putting in there, I'll tell you right now. First things first, thank you for 500 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I know it's in the grand scheme of things, it's not much. It's definitely not the goal, but it's 500 people that chose to listen to us ramble.
Yeah, it's baby steps.
Yeah, so it's greatly appreciated. And Australia, I don't know if I can say anything bad about Australia ever again.
I love Australia.
They're great. I think our videos
even the guys that are just completely ripping us to shreds. There's literally only been 2 so far that I've had to delete comments, but I didn't delete you from the page. So you can still comment. Just your comments might have crossed the line.
I didn't even see them, so
yeah.
But the good news is with me and Cookie coming from the sports world,
with thick skin.
Yeah, roast away. You'll say nothing that I didn't say to myself in my mirror 7 times today.
Let's put it this way: if I had to delete a comment, it was bad.
Yeah.
You can shred us all you want. My favorite part, I don't know if I said this last time, but my favorite part of that whole thing from the original video that's now like it's over 20,000 views now. And there's 200 and something comments too, which is amazing, and a ton of likes. So thank you guys for that. But my favorite part of that wasn't so much people going at us. Like there was plenty of people going at you and I. It was the rugby guys going at the AFL guys and vice versa. And I was just dying laughing reading the comments.
They're mad at each other, man. We just started a civil war.
But it was all in good fun. You could tell, but there were some of them that was maybe not so fun, but it was for the most part all in good fun. And I was just dying laughing.
And for the record, some of the not so fun ones were hilarious comments. So, but yeah, no, you guys have been awesome in supporting that video. And like, it's actually, like you said, it's been pretty like supportive back and doing it. And then the other thing is just everybody getting mad because we don't like spiders.
Yeah. I don't give a damn what you think. I don't like spiders.
No, they're used to them, man. They have spiders for pets probably down there. It's like we have Rottweilers and Dobermans and they have spiders.
I only have 2 complaints about the Australians after all of this. Get off our backs about the spiders. And why the hell does John have 3,000 more views on his video than I do?
I don't know. It's like almost worded the same. And Cookie's video's done so much better.
Oh, I'm a genius. Wait, did I say that? That came out. I didn't mean for that to actually come out. Sorry. My bad.
And that's what I get for complimenting Cookie right there. That's
why we will rarely compliment each other, because there's always going to be a return.
that is cause and effect, everybody.
Yeah, that was your fault.
Oh yeah, no, it's
I'll just drink my pink drink and shut up.
That looks delicious. It looks like you're just drinking pink lemonade. So let's say it's that. What is that anyway?
It's kiwi and strawberry with some Costco vodka. Actually, Sam's Club vodka.
Is it like, what is it, signature?
Yeah, the American version. They have the American version and then the French version.
To the Russians, I'm sorry, he's not drinking Russian vodka.
Damn right, I'm not.
But thank you guys for your support. Hi, Cookie already knows this is a trigger for me.
I'm wearing red.
That's true, and I'm seeing red. So, but yeah, thank you guys for that support, and the people that are watching the podcast and all the other episodes and the guests we've had. You guys have been great. We're going to be doing a lot more, but unfortunately, sometimes you guys are going to have to listen to just me and Cookie talk. And so
I'm going to interrupt you, because speaking of guests, for everybody that watched last Tuesday's show with the one and only Adam Powell and the spectacular Julie Blue, as promised, Julie's book has arrived.
Have you started reading it yet?
No, not yet. I honestly have not yet, but I am very much looking forward to it. And hopefully someday I get to meet the amazing Julie in person and she can sign this for me.
Where did she say? She in California or Arizona, something like that?
Arizona. She's, I think, in the Phoenix area.
Road trip. That's where the ranchers are.
I want to go meet her myself. Screw you.
Well, I'm gonna go see the ranchers so we can at least ride together.
Yeah, there we go. I want to go see the ranchers too. I like hanging out on.
Yeah,
ranchers.
they're awesome people. Cody and Steph and the family. And I just love the fact on the ranchers TikTok, you got like wife of 2 Acre Ranch, friend of 2 Acre Ranch, mom of 2 Acre Ranch when they all come in. So it's a pretty funny thing. But yeah, so today's episode is we're going full Seinfeld, I guess. It's really about nothing. But there's so much going on, and like Cliff and I will talk about things, and it's like we can laugh about things without making any kind of like stance.
We had a 2-hour phone conversation a couple nights ago that we probably should have just jumped on here and recorded. Honestly,
we need to start recording those.
But we would have probably gotten ourselves in trouble with our employers.
Today's conversation would be like, we don't have employers anymore.
Yeah.
But the first thing I wanted to touch on, because like on my TikTok, and I know Cliff started seeing a bunch of them and other people have seen them, I was doing my Mental Health Monday post. And I haven't done them in a couple weeks because I'm editing this, which it's not like I'm bogged down doing it. I love doing it because I'll poor Cliff, I'll send him like phone recordings of what I'm editing of funny parts that we just kind of forget about. And but yesterday,
John won't let me help.
It's not that I won't let you.
John's rude. He won't let me help.
I am rude. That part's not wrong. But yesterday I photographed this big concert yesterday, and one of my favorite bands, like all the bands are great. And you know the big outdoor like not stadiums, like the outdoor amphitheaters they have now?
Yeah.
They kind of all look exactly the same.
It's Starplex in Dallas. I know it's been called multiple things since then, but we still call it Starplex down in Park.
All the same thing, like the covered seating area and then the lawn and everything. Same kind of deal. This, first of all, Jiffy Lube in Bristow, Virginia, has the best sound I've ever heard for one of these places.
Nice.
No echoing, no rattling, and heavy metal is probably one of the hardest things you really got to mix just because of the level. And it was just crisp. And some of these bands are legends, like Amity Affliction. Everyone was just super clean. But one of my favorite bands is Beartooth. And I know a lot of my friends have heard me tell this story before, but Caleb Shomo, the singer, every album takes you through like what his life is like when he was like using and going through his depression and then anxiety. And then there's an album that really kind of even talks about him realizing he needs to change it. And the most recent album is very much like he's a song called I Was Alive, and another song called like I Think I Might Love Myself and stuff like that, where you can see he's on the other end of it now. He's married now and just like confident in himself. And this song, like everything, I can relate to it. It's almost like me and him are hanging out and he's like, wow, your life sucks. I'm going to write about it. But like it mirrors even like the time frame of it in a lot of ways. And then I was like, damn, I haven't really done a Mental Health Monday thing in a while. But something me and Cliff talked about is really what I want to touch on. So I haven't decided, and Cliff will decide this together, maybe release this tomorrow for the Mental Health Monday, since it's going to be a part of it. But the big thing about it is just like, if there's something you want to do, like go for it. Like it's a weird thing to say, and I know it's not always that easy, but you're going to suck at first. Go and suck at what you're doing. Give it a shot. Like when I jumped into photography, I was garbage. I thought I was great because I didn't know the comparison. I look back at my stuff back then and I'm just like, wow, I've come a long way. And then just like even, and I think like me and Cliff have known each other and talked so much over the years, like we just kind of eased into podcasting. And I guess really, other than quality, there's no right and wrong way. I wouldn't know.
Sure. Yeah.
But that's this kind of thing. Is like we jumped into it and we're like, we didn't really know what to expect. And honestly, we did it for us. Like we were just talking about it and just wanting to do it. And like we had these other jobs that we love doing. But now it's like you have a whole new level of excitement to do something and challenges. And, you know, that's why reaching 500 subscriptions is a big deal. Because we did like what? Probably 300 in a month.
Yeah, because your channel already had
like 220.
Do something to begin with. So just in this short, I mean, I keep saying we're 10 episodes in because I count the 2 individuals we did as kind of like half. So we're like 10 and a half in. But especially since mine's not doing as well as yours, you jerk. But we've gained quite a few just in that short time frame. We've literally doubled what you already had, more than doubled what you already had on your channel, and your channel already had some great stuff on it. So it's a good testament to that. And that it's funny you say that. I had a really long conversation with my dad, who lives up in Washington, last night about, we were talking, I was kind of trying to explain to him, he still hasn't watched. I've sent him links in particular to that first episode about MS with Adam, and he actually told me last night, he came out and said, he goes, I haven't watched it because I feel like I need to be in the right mood to listen to hard. I go, it's not even a hard listen. I go, Adam's just angry about the whole process, and if you don't like the F word, just be aware it's coming.
If you don't like the F word, you're in the wrong place.
Yeah, but I go, you don't have to. It's one of those, you don't have to be in a mood. Unlike, the Netflix documentary about Ohio State wrestling and stuff like that. I need to be in the right frame of mind to watch that, even though I know most of the story at this point. Kind of like Athlete A about the gymnastics stuff. I had to be in the right mindset before I sat down and watched that. To watch Adam's thing, you really didn't too. But kind of, I digress here, because what the main part of the conversation was, and you and I have talked about this, and I don't want to sound cheesy, as I told you the other day, but I've been coaching now for over 20 years. I've moved a ton, and when I was younger, the moves were fun and got me energized, a new location, all that. As I'm close to turning 50 now, that's not so much anymore. It's harder for me to find something that really gets me juiced up and energized, and this has definitely done it. And again, obviously we want this to be successful. We want tons of subscribers and viewership, and let's be brutally honest, at the end of the day, we'd love it to be financially viable, but that's not the end all be all why we started this. It was to be able to have these kind of conversations and talk the Tuesdays, to have the conversations with people about deeper topics. And then even the Friday conversations, even though, the viewership's a little bit low on it right now, the Friday conversation we had this past week was important. It was a very important one. It wasn't just, hey, look at these guys play hockey. It was much more important than that. But it's got me energized. Like, I'm excited about what we're doing here, and hopefully that comes across and people will start to really jump on board with it.
Yeah, as far as Friday's episode, again, something we've talked about actually for a really long time. It's good to have stuff like that archived.
Yes,
like it'll live here forever. So, you have, like, when do people start coming to school?
Our guys get here. Well, we have our first unofficial, a team meeting literally on Tuesday. We're doing a Zoom call with everybody. School starts August 18th.
Okay.
And then we'll start practicing the week after school starts. We give them the first week to kind of get acclimated.
Okay. So yeah. So I mean, you got a bunch of kids out, and this thing is like an episode like that. We don't know how the timing works in the world for it all. We'll figure that out. But like, it's something that when one day you might have a player, or even one of my private lessons, or even something non-sports related, I can say, hey, listen, actually, we talked to a couple professionals. Here's a link, go watch it. And maybe it can help you. Cause the Mental Health Mondays I started for the sole purpose of kind of me being able to talk about whatever I was feeling and going through at the time. But also, like I said to everybody, like, if I get if I get 10, 20 views on a video, if one of those people's like, okay, I needed this today, success.
Exactly.
That's what it all is. Cause that's what I've always kind of looked for, is like, when you're having those hard times and everything, it's hard to talk to people. My therapist isn't always available. I wasn't even in therapy for the longest amount of time. And I was just like, always, without realizing, I was always just kind of looking for something to relate to and say, okay, that's what I needed to hear. And so that's my favorite part, is when, you could look through the comments. Someone's like, that's what I needed to hear today. How did you know this? And this, that, and the other thing. And so that's the big thing about those kind of things. And then all the stuff we're doing, I mean, you never know, like the MS videos. You never know who's like, I don't know what to do, and then they stumble upon a YouTube video.
Well, I'll give you there's two examples. One you would have seen and one you wouldn't have. One was a comment on the last video with Adam and Julie. There was a comment on that video from someone that I don't know if Adam knew. I don't know if Julie knew. It didn't seem like they did based on their comments, but it was clearly someone who was also an MS warrior who reached out and said, thank you for this. I really, been looking for someone to talk to. And instantly Adam and Julie both commented back saying, you can reach out to us anytime. It was really cool. The other one you wouldn't have seen, even though you've never met this person, but you know of him because we talked about it. My former boss, who's still coaching at Drury University, the shotgun sports team, Kevin Boyer, he messaged me after we posted. I think we had only posted the shorts, the little snippets we do. We haven't even posted the full video yet. And he said, hey, can I get Adam's contact information? I'd love to talk to him. And I obviously don't have it. You do. I don't. I said, well, I don't have his info, that John does. And even before I could reach out, I said, but, feel free to message him on Facebook. I mean, and again, that's one of those, I've known Kevin now for going on 3 years. Amazing human. His wife's awesome, but she's battling MS. And we were able to kind of create that connection. And hopefully when you guys are here in a couple weeks, whatever it is, that connection can become an in-person thing. I don't know if they've had a conversation yet. I haven't asked Adam, but hopefully that worked out. But again, bigger picture, that's the thing you're talking about is, whether we're getting 20 views on a video or 20,000, even the 20 view, if that connection's being made, if someone's getting something out of it, and whether it's now or in the future, I fully agree with what you said, that's why we're doing this. And, yes, I'll go back to what I said before. Yes, we want this to be successful, but there's varying different definitions of success for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And then the Adam thing, so Adam and I aren't traveling together. They're separate treks. So, more important than me, definitely Adam.
Oh yeah.
Syncing up with those people because he knows so much.
He's an unbelievable advocate while he's fighting it himself. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's the importance of these Mental Health Mondays. That's the importance of putting these videos out there. And honestly, even if it's just ones where we're being kind of funny, or if we think we're funny, maybe you also just kind of need the distraction. My buddy Dave that I play video games with, it's like, get it on Spotify. He goes, you guys are, and David's very critical. He's the one that said you were the shit. And,
oh, that's the guy that's an absolute brilliant person. Yeah. Okay. David. Yeah.
Not Dave the Australian.
David, I appreciate your intellect.
It's amazing. These great minds can just connect like that. But, yeah.
Ego a little bit more. Yeah. What we need.
But yeah, David's down in Florida. I've been playing video games with him for a while now, and he's big into podcasts. I think that's like what he does most. That's what he listens to mostly. So that was a nice thing hearing from him. But let me tell you, he is an absolute savage when we're playing games. But yeah. So having these things on, and that's the other thing is on this channel. Like it's more than the podcast. I'm getting back to uploading more videos on things. Like, I've always wanted to do a day in the life shooting an NHL game, but I'm not allowed to record any video. I was going to do the same thing yesterday, but for concerts, you're not allowed to do any video. Quick question. Speaking of, so this concert yesterday, 9 bands, it's a festival. When you would shoot, I'm sure you shot days where there was 9 bands.
I never shot a festival. I think the most bands in one night I was shooting was kind of a standard 4 to 5.
Okay.
3, 4, 5, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, this was 9 bands.
I went to a lot of festivals, but I never shot.
Yeah, this was 9 bands, same stage, like that kind of thing. Like, they didn't have a second stage. Breakdown, I mean, the crews were unreal to do it that quick. But how many were you shooting digital, or was this film?
Generally digital. There was only a couple times where I would bring my film camera just for fun. But
how many photos would you go through digital when you shot, let's say for 5 bands, if you remember?
Well, let me ask you this, because this is part of the question that photographers that do this will understand. What you were shooting yesterday, was it kind of the standard? You can only do the first 3 songs, or you could shoot the whole thing? Well,
no, actually, first 3 songs, but we were allowed to roam and shoot afterwards.
But at the stage,
first 3.
First 3. I only shot one event that had that because I didn't get all the big stuff, and I didn't want the big stuff. I shot the local bands in Dallas down in Deep Ellum, so I could shoot the whole thing. And we're talking, if there were 4 bands, I mean, it was,
and shooting the whole thing.
I mean, I couldn't even tell you. I mean, it was probably 600, 700 per band.
Mm.
You know,
That's
roughly.
about right. Because let me tell you this:
and you keep like a third if you're lucky.
Oh yeah, I was actually having that
You're
conversation.
lucky. Yeah.
I had that conversation yesterday. And so yesterday, I had to do a card dump like right before. So the last two bands were Killswitch Engage and then Parkway Drive. Oh no, sorry. Well, yeah, those were the last two bands. Killswitch Engage, then Parkway Drive. Parkway Drive. I mean, it's funny how many of these bands, like Killswitch Engage, was like, "Thank you for supporting us the last 26 years." I'm like, "Holy crap!"
We're old.
Is it?
They're not a band I follow, but I know who they are, and that's
That's how famous they are. And Parkway Drive is really big in the metal scene. They're from Australia.
I've heard of them, but not my thing.
Their guitarist, if you saw him out and about, you would be like, "Oh, this is somebody. He probably likes art." I'm guessing he's a country guitarist. He's got like the professional man's haircut.
He works for Google.
Yeah, very neat beard, all gray hair, fully gray hair. I'll put a picture up. Fully gray hair, neat beard. You would never guess he's a guitarist and then like this super heavy metalcore band. When he got up on stage, like I know of the band, and this first time I've ever seen him live, and I'm just like the first couple seconds, I'm like, what? Like, first of all, F you for being so handsome still. Secondly, what? But yeah, so I did my card dump, and I get home, and I when I got home last night, I offloaded the last band because we just for Parkway Drive we did the 3 songs and then we were out because we were just dead. I would have loved to see their whole set. They had a drum kit and a wheel that they lit on fire and spun. I didn't see that part. My buddy's wife called it the hamster wheel of death. And honest to God, it's exactly what it looks like. But yeah, I get home. I have upwards of 9,500 photos.
Yeah, sounds about
now.
Right.
I screwed up in the beginning because the new mirrorless cameras have electronic shutter. So there's no shutter curtain. There's no mechanical shutter. I mean, it just rips away.
Yeah.
And you'll fire off. And my cameras do, I think, an electronic shutter 20 to 25 frames a second. And I'm just like, holy crap. So I'm just like offloading all these. So now I have to like go through everything. Actually, I have my thing pulled up. Oh yeah, I've already started the editing, and I only have 7,500 left to go.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, and the funny thing, like you said, out of it, when I'm done, I'll have maybe 200 to 300 keepers.
For sure. Like, I mean, my example is the photo up top there of Christian at a live show. And Christian's literally kneeling down. At the time I took that, he was actually tuning his guitar, so he was like kneeling down at his pedals. And I probably took 20 to 30 shots for that one.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I mean, for those that aren't photographers, that's kind of a prime example of that. Now, the infrared stuff on the other side, that's a whole different animal. Those are
very
one
staged.
shot. Those are one shot because infrared film is not only very tricky to work with. Let me give you an example. Just to put infrared film in your camera, you have to have a blackout bag. You put the camera and the film in a bag and you're having to load it blind because it is so sensitive to light. And once you do that, I'll also have a roll of like gaffer tape, as they call it, but duct tape, black duct tape. And once it's loaded, I duct tape the back of the camera so no light is getting in through any potential areas. That's how sensitive that stuff is.
I've never messed with that. Also, my film experience ends in college. Yeah. So, I mean,
But no, that's, like I said, that's what you're talking about. That image right there is a prime example because I vaguely, I mean, it's a lot of drinks and stuff since then because it was probably almost nearly 20 years ago when I took that.
Yeah.
Maybe not that long. But that was literally probably 20 shots just firing off right in a row to get that one image.
Yeah, there was a couple times, like on the final edited version, I'll even put up a burst sequence on here just so you're talking about. But like, even there was a girl that was crowd surfing, and I just got a picture of her. She came out of the crowd, 3 seconds worth, 75 photos.
I think, maybe it's in Dallas, and I'm going to be back home in a couple weeks briefly. I don't think I have it here. I still have one of my boxes full of film, developed film from not only the infrared stuff, but music stuff as well. I need to see if I can find that.
Yeah, I wish I got back into photography all the way back then, but I'm still trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing with my life. And here's the funny part is like we're talking about these things, and Cliff's talking about stuff he took 20 years ago, because 20 years ago Cliff went forth with something he got introduced to in high school, as we've discussed.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and now here we are, strapping young men, like going for a podcast. And here's the thing. and here's the funny part is I think I said this stat in our very first episode, or maybe it was a test thing. I think it was in the first one though. Like I said, there's about 5 million podcasts out there. The average amount people last is 3 episodes. And we're by no means on easy street because we're made it past 3 episodes. But I think the reason people only last 3 episodes are like, I think people think they're going to put out a podcast and suddenly they're going to get hundreds of thousands of viewers,
right,
or listeners. And it's just like, it's not the way it works. And I think every time,
unless you're a celebrity, that ain't happening.
No. And I think every time, like, for example, when Cliff goes to coach a new team, he could have a whole team there, but you're kind of starting from scratch. You're starting that team and business from scratch because you're brand new people running the show. When I moved to a different area as a photographer, I went from Connecticut to Raleigh. And then when Raleigh came up to here, I moved up here during COVID, no less.
I moved to Springfield during COVID.
Yeah. And it's just like, you have to start from scratch. And if you're not dedicated to put in the work towards it, you're only hurting yourself. There's no guarantee it's going to work. We could be sitting here a year from now with still episodes hitting 60, 70 views.
But I don't want to speak for you, but I'm still willing to keep going because I'm loving it.
100%. Because there's a bunch of stuff to talk about and a bunch of stuff to go over. And like I said, if it reaches that one viewer that's like, I needed to hear this today.
And this goes back. Yeah. And this goes back to that broader theme again that I know, you and I are big on. You've actually done something about it. I have not, although I can argue that maybe I have. And this is one of those ways I have, is the mental health side of it. And when I mentioned a minute ago about being energized and revitalized again, that did so much for me, like kind of it rejuvenated me and got me excited again. And sometimes you just need that. It's not necessarily a career change because I'm not leaving coaching. And this goes for anybody who's doing something a little different. Because coaching's still a huge, I mean, hockey's, we talked about it on the episode. That Scotty Scheffler thing hit me harder than I thought it would. The more it kind of went along in the week and even over this weekend.
Scotty Scheffler featured in Happy Gilmore too. Go on.
Yes, I'm aware. Scotty Scheffler, that golfer.
that guy.
As John called him. But
hey, you know what though? To interrupt you,
some golfer just talking.
To interrupt you, if you didn't bring me through all that, I would have watched the movie and been like,
who's that guy?
Other than Rory McIlroy, I would have been like, are these guys even? Oh, and John Daly, I'd have been like, are these guys even real golfers?
I'm pretty sure Jordan Spieth and Charlie Hull, who's a gorgeous English women's golfer, she's in it.
And who's the other guy? And I can't remember his name. Koepka?
Brooks Koepka, yeah.
He's in it too, yeah.
No, I know. There's a lot.
The only reason I remembered that name is it sounds like a hockey name.
Yeah, I think Justin Thomas is in it. Yeah, but anyways. We're
going to be talking about Happy Gilmore on Friday.
Yeah, we will. But what I was saying is it really kind of hit me hard because I have, for better or worse, have defined myself as a hockey guy, whether it's a player or coach, for most of my life. That's just who I am. I even tell people, yeah, I'm a hockey guy. That whole thing got me realizing, well, no, hockey's just, and it doesn't take away the passion I have for it, but it's just part of what I am. It's part of what I do. Who I am is, well, because of that, because I let that filter into my personal life. I'm, full disclosure, and John knows this, I'm a moody guy. I'm a grumpy guy. It can be a royal pain in the ass. It's created issues in my personal life with loved ones, but in such a short period of time, that's changed. And not only, doing this podcast, but listening to that and, a lot, it's been a stressful summer, and yet I'm still like, I'm excited. Like, I've been pumped all day to get here and record this. And then John went and tells me that he had no internet. I'm like, you're a piece of shit.
Hey, don't yell at me, man. Yell at Verizon.
But I can't really say that because it's usually me having the internet issues. But
and Cliff's always used to calling me a piece of shit
I
anyway.
am calling you a piece of shit. That's the moody, grumpy guy in me.
That's the running theme.
Yeah. So, but no, again, the mental health part of it. It's like I said earlier. At almost 50 years old, I found something to really get excited about. Not that I'm not excited. Like if any of our, the hockey guys, whether it's parents or employers of me or our players are watching this, don't take for 1 second that I'm not excited about this season. I am thrilled. The reason I'm not excited right now is because we're not on the ice. John knows how that feeling. When you're not on the ice, like this is the worst. But I'm like 3-4 weeks away from getting back on the ice with the guys, and that's when, man, my juice between this podcast and that. I mean, I'm gonna be. No one's gonna recognize me. I'm gonna be the happiest person in the world, and that's just not right.
You're gonna go from Eeyore to fucking Pooh.
Dude,
Is Pooh happy?
I almost. Oh my God. Nicole's gonna just be all over us for this manifesting thing. I came literally this close to buying a Winnie the Pooh coffee mug today to use tonight.
Come on, dude.
I swear to God. I was at Home Goods looking for something else, and I looked over and saw this Winnie the Pooh shit. I go, I should get something to use when I'm on the show.
Yeah.
It's Winnie the Pooh.
The funny stuff. I was on her live the other night and she was talking about something and I was like, what did you just say? And she repeated, I go, I was just talking to Cookie about that. And then the other day I messaged her and I was like, I was saying something. I was like, hey, I was just thinking about you. I wanted to ask you a question. She goes, I know. And I'm like, stop doing that. Because I'm trying to be a hater. I'm trying to be a person that's going to call the bluff on this. And it's kind of a weird thing. And
Nicole, that's not true. I do like you, but I don't like you.
we're getting really bitter over it.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Like we're trying to prove everybody wrong. But yeah, and I mean, but that's
sorry
the
to
thing
everybody.
too.
By the way, real quick, sorry to everybody if you're hearing beeping in the background. My dehumidifier just shut itself off.
I didn't. But yeah, it's kind of a funny thing, but and as long of a tangent as this is all taken, and
that's kind of the point of the Seinfeld episode here.
It's kind of the point of our podcast here. But that's just kind of the thing. Like we're doing things and we're doing new things. And when me and Cliff said, hey, let's do a podcast, which totally happened by just chance and once again.
Yeah, I know.
But like we even said, it's like I think we had a couple discussions because Cliff and I are both a couple people that like if you really want to do something bad, if it doesn't go out well at first, it'll rattle us. And we both were like, it's probably gonna suck at first, and like it's okay. We'll just do them, and we'll figure it out along the way. And it's been. I mean, you guys might think we suck, but I mean, it's been pretty good on our end. The response we've been getting in a lot of these things has been really good. The people we've had on have been outstanding and really knowledgeable. I'm really looking forward to getting your friend on and hearing his story.
Yeah, hopefully it looks like it's going to work out to where sometime this week or at least for the following week we'll be able to get Tyler on. That I am so looking forward to that. He's got a great story to tell. He's literally writing a book about it. So
yeah, and that could be one of those stories that somebody absolutely needs to hear.
Yeah, 100%.
And even Dave Grohl said it. And Cookie knows I love Foo Fighters. He's never been to an open mic where I didn't at least play 2 of their songs, to which were usually the only 2 songs anybody knew or even listened to before our friend Jeremy decided to fight a paper towel dispenser or a cardboard cutout. But that's a different story. Yep. We'll never let you live this down, Jeremy.
No.
Never. Just like I won't let Cookie let down being in Vegas in VIP and he kicked over an entire bottle of Crown that did not break.
Didn't break. What's the point? Why are you going to give me shit for it?
Because you kicked it over, and whatever that bottle is made out of has to be the same thing that the presidential motorcade is made out of, because that thing hit a concrete floor.
It's good Canadian craftsmanship.
Yeah, Crown Royal, I love you guys.
Yes, we are more than willing to put your logo on our podcast if you would like to join us.
Everyone laughs at me because my favorite drink out, if it's not just straight Crown, is Crown and whiskey or Crown and ginger ale. Crown and whiskey, holy crap! But the Crown and ginger ale, and everyone's like, "What are you, Canadian?" I'm like, "I wish."
Yeah,
like 100%. Like that's where actually we always talk about Jeremy. It's like you think I would love to be a guy as wildly loved as this jerk over here.
Yeah, what a prick.
and he's always so nice and literally
handsome and nice. What a freaking asshole.
we're dedicating so much time to hating / loving you, Lozzie.
We had the same conversation about Henrik Lundqvist on the phone the other day too.
Yeah, honestly, screw him too. Screw you, Henrik Lundqvist, for your niceness and your handsomeness and the fact that you were one of the greatest goalies ever played the game. Yeah. But yeah, Dave Grohl was saying, like, you know, he actually kind of, I can't remember specifically, but I think he was talking about like bands that are product of the industry, or these bands that go out there and just like want to be so professional out of the gates and do too much, and it takes away from who they are. And he's like, he goes, get your band, go into a garage, and he goes, write songs and suck at what you do. He goes, you're going to have your friends and your family, and you're going to go and enjoy what you're doing, and you'll get better as time goes on. But you're going to suck when you start, but you still have to start.
Yeah, and just be yourself. And that's what we are doing on here. Now, I say that. John will tell you too. I am in public and away from the ice rink and definitely away from this podcast. I am not necessarily this talkative. I'm kind of an introvert just because that's just who I am. But this is still me. So, this is definitely John. The only reason you're not getting full John is there are some slight restrictions on him. But you're getting pretty damn close to real John. We talked about this earlier too, but yeah, that's the only reason. You're not getting full throttle John.
No, was it the first episode where I'm pretty sure I destroyed all of Hartford?
Yeah, for sure. That was full throttle John. But there are other things that you're not going to get full throttle John. Unfortunately, maybe one of these days, because when both of us are willing to go to that level, we're not.
Fortunately, we need to keep this YouTube channel alive.
Yeah, and we need to keep our current jobs so we can keep doing this too.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, it's like, those jokes aside, it's not. There's actually minimal hate.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
You know, like we're a huge, like, if no matter what your background is, where you're from, like, we're a fan.
Yeah,
and we're all about it. We're not some of the other people.
We just don't pull punches.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing is that we're going to be deadly honest. I mean, I know
that goes for all of you. All of you are in the crosshairs. I don't care what your political aspirations are, religion, anything. You're all in the crosshairs, but we also love you. So take that for what it's worth.
I was going to say something. I was going to say, especially you, Cookie, in the crosshairs, but that just threw me off enough.
Yeah, anytime if we're coming at you, unless we state unequivocally, and we've done that I've done that so far with one person in particular over the early episodes, but yeah, if we're coming at you, it's not out of hate, it's out of just us being who we are and being real.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at the very least, you can't call us liars.
No,
at the very least.
No, I won't. I will never do that because I'm too dumb to remember what the lie was to repeat it.
It's not a moral thing.
No,
it's an intelligence thing.
Too many hits to the head and all that. I can't remember the lie, so I got to keep with the truth. I can remember that.
Yeah, and that's the funny part is, like, communication's big, and I believe in it. And, like, honestly, I'm sure the Australians. I've gone and tried to respond to almost every comment.
I love you, Australia.
Yeah, just take your spiders away.
Take your spiders and burn them to hell.
But, like, I've tried and respond to everything, not for any other reason other than the fact that, A, you took the time to send a comment. I want to take the time to write back. And I joked about getting an intern to do it, but I don't think an intern can ever speak for us. Well,
definitely not you. I might be able to get him to my level, maybe, but definitely not you.
No, I think, I can't remember one of them, but the guy was like, is this? And I'm like, he thought I was going to concede, and it wasn't like a combative thing. And I was like, absolutely not.
Well, my thing was, there was only one comment that I'm not responding as much, even though I would like to. And if I'm responding, by the way, if you're watching this and have seen that, I am generally responding from my own YouTube username, which is Cookie HKY, I think, Cookie Hockey. But
who knew he was into hockey?
Yeah, go figure. But there was only one that I kind of commented, and admittedly I tried to be professional while still being a little snarky, because his comment on my Australian rules football thing on Thursday was basically like, you got this all wrong. And that's all it said. So I'm like, well, okay, tell me what I got wrong. I mean, I literally in the video asked you guys to explain this to me.
We say it over and over again. We're like, we're learning. Like, we can appreciate what we're watching.
I mean, if you want to make a comment, be productive about it. Just go, you're an idiot. Well, I already know that, you jackass. I know I'm a freaking idiot. I don't
Captain
need you to
Obvious.
tell me that.
That's
So,
funny.
yeah, be a little more eloquent in your conversation. That's a big word for you.
Yeah, totally. Eloquent. I like water too. So, I know what eloquent means. It's the only thing I can think of with the qua sound in there. But but yeah, and here's what I'm curious about. Like I remember I put out, again, speaking of Bear 2, speaking of the song I Was Alive, I did a Mental Health Monday video. That's my favorite video I've done for that. But I said in there, like, what would people say about you? And like a thing in there. I don't even know if I showed you this video, Cookie, because you weren't really doing the TikTok yet. But I said in there, it's like, what would people when I die, people will be like, at the very least, they'll be like, well, John went full send every single time. And I appreciate that, because no one can say I didn't put in the effort. But I also said, I'm like, what would people say about you? And it's the same kind of thing for here, in a sense, where I want to know, what are you all wanting to do that you haven't done yet because you're afraid, or maybe it's a financial thing or whatever, that you just need to hit go on it. And let me tell you, finances, for 99% of things you want to do, finances are not the thing that's going to stop you. That's the mental excuse that will stop you. And it's a logical fear.
100%.
And but what's the thing you want to do that you haven't done yet, for whatever reason, that you just need to press go on? Like, a lot of people, when I talk to, so we're doing this, and they're like, oh crap, did you have to get all this stuff? I didn't have to. I work in photo and video, so I have most of the things. And then I went and got the few things I needed. But honestly, we could have started this with our cell phones.
Yeah. And I was the same. When we started this, I had everything we needed, but I also said, if we're going to do this, I want to do it to the highest level and do it right. So I did, we talk about being invested in this. It's not just an emotional thing. That was I invested in it. I've bought equipment that I didn't have, even though it wasn't necessary to start this, but it was, we are fully on board with doing this and doing it the right way. So we're going to continue to, not only upgrade our content, but upgrade the equipment we're using to do it. But again, that wasn't a necessity, like you said.
Yeah. And we were even talking about, when we start getting guests on, we would love to be in a position where we can send that person a box and with instructions of how to set it up to keep the audio quality and everything. And, we'll get there. And that's the kind of things we talk about. It'd be great if there's a monetization benefit to it, because so we can make it great for everybody in there. So what do they need to do, Cliff?
I was just going to say, these guys can help us with that. But yeah. But yeah, again, like and subscribe to the channel, comment below for sure. And
the engagement
huge. I mean, that's what, yes, we're excited about the 20,000+ views on that one video, but I'm more excited about the hundreds and hundreds of comments and likes that are on there, because that means not only are people watching it, they're actually engaging in it. Mm-hmm. But you mentioned something a minute ago. This is one of the reasons why one of the names on is actually, well, no, I don't know if I put the other one on there, but one of the names on our list of hopeful and potential guests, and I've mentioned him on here before, Eric Saperston. I was wearing his hat actually the day I got flooded going out to my Traeger, and I had to switch it. The Journey. Mentioned this before, the Journey film he did, and it's been a long time now. It's weird to think that, but I mean, let's put it this way: Jerry Garcia was still alive and then died as he was doing the film, but that's how long ago it's been. But his whole thing is, the whole purpose was him going out and talking to the most powerful people in the world and to give advice to young people. But one of the people he met along the way was this guy that worked at Kinko's. He just worked at Kinko's in Atlanta, Georgia. And he just kept, he got to befriend him, and he was talking to him. He's like, well, what is it you really want to do? He's like, well, I want to be a musician. And he's like, well, is working at Kinko's making that happen? Not really. And then that day he went in and quit his job. This goes back to are you doing what you really want to do? And yes, look, we're not diminishing the idea that there is a financial stake in this.
Yeah, don't put yourself homeless. And
don't make yourself in a bad situation. I know that's not what John meant, what he was talking about that earlier. But if you are in a position and it doesn't mean you're a millionaire by any stretch. I can promise you this guy he was talking to was far from that, but he was at least in a position where he could say, he was already doing the songwriting. He was doing that. And he basically said, I quit. As he said, I have resigned from Kinko's. You resigned from a job where you're just making copies, but I think you just quit. But he took the jump. He took the leap. And as, you know, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. You know, that whole important cliche and phrase. That's true. And that's what we did a little over a month ago now, I guess it's been. You know, we hope to, we're not only trying to kind of inspire ourselves to go forward, we're hopefully, you know, at some point we can inspire others to do the same, in whatever path that is.
I'm a huge fan of people winning. Like, I can't tell you, Cliff and I will send each other videos, especially like of guys when they get called up from the minors to the pros, the phone calls with their families to say they finally got called up. And, you know, we want to have it be like the wins for us, but I love watching other people win. They get their promotions, or if they overcome something in their lives that's doing really well, like that kind of stuff, that actually juices me up to, like, I can't sit around in a day and do nothing when I hear about someone get a win like that.
Dude, we're coaches. You might not still be coaching teams, but we're coaches. There's nothing, when we were coaching juniors, there was nothing more exciting for us than one of our players got that college acceptance and was like, you're doing it, man. You're doing it.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's when guys, it's not even so much now that I'm at the college level. And again, I know there's going to be the college naysayers out there about ACHA. Well, you guys aren't going pro. We do actually have guys who go pro. Maybe not to the NHL, but they're going pro. But that's not what even gets me excited. Yes, that's cool when that happens. But it's when I see these guys later on down the line, even guys I coached in juniors years ago that are now successful in their, you know, business world. They've got, you know, families. They're just doing it, man. They're just doing it. And there's nothing. I'll bring up what I said before. I am kind of generally known as being the moody, grumpy guy. I've been called a negative guy. Fuck off. I've been called negative in my life. It's not true. I'm just a realist, and I want the real to come through. And as John said, there's nothing that makes me happier as a human being than seeing the success of everybody, but in particular the people I am directly working with. And it's so makes the heart happy for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's people, I get messages from people. If anybody's ever messaged me about photography stuff and I didn't respond, I promise you it's because I just didn't see it. There's a girl, Esther, who's reached out to me a couple of times with questions about photography stuff. I do my best to respond. And I warn everybody. When I first see it, I was like, if I don't see it, I can promise I just didn't see it. And Instagram, I get them all the time simply because of what I do with the Capitals. And, you know, I would love for all those people to get a shot to do that kind of thing. Like, you know, I would love to see people get up there. The girl Jess I talk about that I work with, like my first year, she was an intern for the team. And now she's probably one of the highest sought photographers in the area and does an unbelievable job. Like, I ask her questions all the time. And it's a thing about when people seeing that they do well, and it's about having humility, and it's about just genuinely wanting the best for people around you. And let me tell you, if you're a coach of any kind, if that's not your first thing, you're in the wrong business. You shouldn't be coaching anybody if you don't want to see people do better than you ever did.
And I'll be the first to admit, one of the things I'm not good at, and, you know, you were good at this, I know, and you still are, because I know you talk to guys. Jeremy's definitely good at this. I am not. I don't, again, I am the happiest person on the planet when these guys are having success, but I'm also not the type of coach that stays in that contact. I'm not reaching out to those guys. I see it from a distance, and I'm incredibly happy. And there is the occasion where I will reach out and say, man, I'm so proud of you. But I don't want any of the guys, current or former, to think that I'm not proud of them because I'm not reaching out. I was just never, you know, I'm not that guy. I've just never been that guy. I wasn't going to be your best friend, but that doesn't mean once your career is over and you're of legal age, I'll damn sure go have a beer with you and say, good on you, man.
Yeah. And like a lot of our guys, you know, we coach together in tier 3.
Yeah.
Tier 3 is equivalent to junior C. Which to the non-hockey people doesn't mean anything. And this isn't our sport.
And don't get us wrong, it was a great tier 3 league we were in. Like, quality players. And there were some guys that would go to Europe or go whatever and play. But
yeah, it did really well. But like, you know, we were honest with the guys, and you know, we gave people probably more chances than we should because we didn't want to see their stuff fall to pieces. But you know, and again, coaching, to loop it back what we were talking about in the first place, coaching was something we said we just went all in for it. Probably shouldn't have. We shouldn't have, but we absolutely should have at the same time.
We go back to the financial. My bank account will tell you I should have gotten out of it a long ass time ago.
Dude, I didn't even have a car.
I'm still in that position, and I'm sure there are family members of mine that still would wish at nearly 50. I'm like, what are you doing? But
yeah,
I am fortunate enough to get to do the thing I'm passionate about. And now there's this added thing too, but I still wouldn't, even with all the stress that happens. And there's been a lot this summer. I wouldn't change it for the world. And yet, you know, financially, it's not the greatest decision I've ever made in my life 20 something years ago, but from a personal standpoint and a passion standpoint and all that, I couldn't have made a better decision.
I tell you what, it really gives you an idea of what you need to look for.
And what you should be looking for. We're going to have a whole episode, probably multiple, about what to look out for as a coach at those levels.
Yeah, the sports episodes. Again, it's funny. We're back on the sports thing. This isn't our sports day. This is about you pushing forward and stuff. But that's one to tune into for sure. And it's not even really a bashing anybody. It's it's a learn from us.
Yeah, and learn from us, but also I have no regrets even through some of the shittiest times. I've none whatsoever, because it was never about the people I was working for.
Mm-hmm.
It was always about with kids.
I was telling somebody, it was on our sports episode from last Friday. I was telling Connor and Dr. JJ, about Spooner. It's like such a small town, but it was the perfect junior hockey town. And it was a pretty cool experience, even though we were terrible. But yeah, so like in the comments, like put down in the comments, like what's something you want to go for? Doesn't mean you have to hit go just now, but let us know. Maybe there's a way we can help. Maybe we can encourage it. Comment on everything, because like I said, I do my best to respond to these comments because it matters.
Are you, and this has nothing to do with any education or anything, I mean, my degree's in journalism. This is the closest I've ever gotten in my life to actually doing that, other than my internship years ago with the Cowboys. Are you doing the thing you feel you were put on this earth to do, or passionate about? And if you are, tell us about it. That's awesome. And, you know, open yourself up to help someone else. You know, if someone sees that in the comments, they can reach out to you. Like, be that person like we are. And if you're not doing it, why aren't you doing it? And what can we or someone else do to help you get to that point? Yeah. That's what I would love to see.
Yeah, and that'll be good. And this is going to be a clip that, even if it doesn't, it's not the ones automatically done. Something I'm going to seek to put on the socials as well, because I want to see people what they put in there. But yeah, I mean, again, it's scary and it's hard to hit go. Don't leave something if it's going to hurt you financially or put you in a bad position. The funny thing about that, Cliff, did I ever tell you this? When that story, like when I lived in Buffalo after college and like through the summers of college, I worked at Kinko's.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, Kinko's was like my first real job. That's how I ended up in Florida.
My first real job was at Office Max, which I don't even think exists anymore in Dallas.
I think they're all Staples now.
No, they're all Office Depot.
Yeah, Office Depot still there, yeah. But yeah, Kinko's was the job. Like the guy that hired me, like I'd known since I was 9. He was a family friend. I was a terrible employee. I remember once I was taking classes at
I'm already not going to be surprised about anything you have to say right now.
No, this is funny. And he doesn't listen to this. Actually, you know what's funny is my other good friend Andrew lives in Buffalo that worked at Kinko's with me. I don't think he's even listening to this. So screw you, Andrew, you tall bastard. He's
our friends and family to be watching this and supporting this.
The majority of our support come from people that don't know us.
Yes, which I love, by the way. I'm thrilled about that. But I would really like our friends and family to watch this too.
Really let me know who my goddamn friends are.
Yeah, if you are a friend or family member, please comment below. Thank you.
You're about to be a foe.
Yeah, even those family members.
But yeah. So I worked for Kinko's, and like I knew him, and this is funny. So like I was taking classes at ECC, Erie Community College in Buffalo, and so one day I was supposed to be at work at Kinko's. He was my boss. Supposed to be at work at Kinko's. Now, mind you, this is 1999, maybe, and it's like in the summer, and it's supposed to be at work. And I didn't want to go to work. I wanted to go hang out with my friends. We were gonna go get some stuff at the mall and eat or whatever, the Galleria Mall in Buffalo, New York, and technically Cheektowaga, but anyway, I call him from the mall at home, and I'm like, Mike, I got lab and I have to stay and I can't do anything. He had caller ID, and on the caller ID it said Galleria Mall. He goes, why is it saying you're at the Galleria Mall? Now, mind you, ECC is in Orchard Park, a solid 30 minutes, 40 minutes with no traffic.
Isn't Orchard Park where the Bills practice facility is?
Yeah, it's right around the corner from there. It's also one of the Kinkos I ended up working at for a little bit, but anyway, that's a different thing. But yeah, he's like, why does it say you're at the Galleria Mall? I'm like, that's weird. I don't know. And like, you can hear the mall behind me. And I'm like, I don't know. He's like, all right. He knew I was lying. And I was just like, I thought I was so slick. And I was like, yeah. I remember hanging up the phone. I was like, bought it. And this guy, Mike, is one of the smartest human beings on the planet. He actually wrestled at Potsdam. But he's also just an unbelievably smart person. He's the manager of the Kinkos. And I called him at home. And like, caller ID. And I'm just like, that's weird. I don't know. And he's like, all right. Like
at that point, I'm fairly certain caller ID was a pretty new thing.
It was, yeah, it was like in the late 90s. It was relatively new.
Relatively new. Yeah.
There was no *69.
But what I'm getting at is like, that was just your shit luck, is because caller ID was pretty damn new and he just happened to have it.
I didn't think anything about it. Like, I lived at his house too, like, because I've known him for so long. That's where I lived when I was there. And like, I just didn't even think about caller ID, and he busted me so bad. But I eventually became a good employee and started doing things. And I ended up getting promoted, and that's how I ended up in Florida. They sent me to Florida to manage locations down there. They called me.
Okay, now that you said that, I think I do remember you telling me all this.
Yeah, because they called me
that part, but the Kinko's part.
Yeah, they called me, and so Buffalo was getting the snowstorm. Imagine that. At one point, they gave us.
Love that.
We knew the storm was coming for hours. They didn't let schools out. They didn't let the businesses out.
So you're not in Missouri or Texas.
Yeah, no. But this is the thing. This was the kind of storm they knew was going to be this bad, where even Buffalo would have let the businesses out.
Yeah.
And it hit there around 3:30 in the afternoon on like a Monday or Tuesday or something. And so we got, I think, like, if you're in Buffalo at this time, and I know you've had storms like this since then, correct me, but I'm almost positive it was like 5 to 6 feet of snow in like 6 hours. I mean, it just dumped on us. The cars had to be abandoned on the highway. Downtown was complete gridlock. Downtown was complete gridlock. People were bringing out their grills and hot chocolate and coffee for people that were stuck in their cars.
When would this have been? It
was before I left for Florida, so winter of like 99, maybe. Yeah, it was winter of 99. I don't know why
I asked that question, because I'm older than you, so that my timeline wouldn't have made sense in my head. Because we had a horrible winter one of the years I was at Northwood. It was one of the worst ones they had in like decades.
Oh yeah. I mean, this wouldn't even have been this. I mean,
but that would have been like 92 or something, or 93.
Oh, that's true too. But yeah, it might have been 2000 actually, because I'm pretty sure I was almost done with schooling. But yeah, and like.
By the way, you're all witnessing one of our tangents.
Oh yeah, what day is it? But yeah, it was. That's when they called me and they're like, "Hey, we have this position down in Florida. Do you want to go?" And I'm like, it was snowing so bad it was leaking into my car. I had a 95 Dodge Intrepid. And this was leaking into my car. I'm like, yes, even me, which loves the snow. I was like, yeah, I'll go.
Yeah, this is too much.
This is a bit obscene. There was thunder and lightning during the snowstorm.
Oh, I've been in a thunderstorm or a thunder snow. I think
yeah. I don't even think we had a name for it. I just like end of days.
Thunder snow. Those are crazy.
It was pretty wild.
I went through one of those in Montana. Those are nuts.
Oh yeah, I think they're actually almost not common, but it's not uncommon.
I was there 2 years. It only happened once, but yeah, it was crazy. I do want to add one thing to my thing earlier about people commenting and telling us, you know, what you want to do in life, or if you're already doing it. I think another important thing, again, kind of piggybacking off the Eric Saperston, the Journey film thing, is if you are, and again, I don't know, one of the things we can't see necessarily are the demographics of who's watching these. But if you're already retired and have gone through this, and whether you retired from something that was, you know, you were passionate about, something you loved your whole life, or not, you know, let us know that too, and how the kind of advice or connection we can give to these younger guys. Because that was the whole thing with Eric's. I really hope, in fact, I was looking at it before we recorded today. When I get in touch with Eric, I've got a slight connection with him. Hopefully he remembers this connection. Eric, if you're watching, I don't think you are at this point, but
imagine if he was.
Well, I do have a connection with him through my uncle out in Atlanta. I've had lunch with Eric a couple times, but this was, geez, again, everything feels like it's 20 years ago. But yeah, this was a long time ago. But I have met Eric a few times through my uncle. He and my uncle knew each other, so I think I can probably pull that off, because I think that'll be a really cool conversation to have Eric on.
That'd be great. I mean, getting people who've really made something big happen out of doing stuff like that is because that's the other thing too, is like we're living in a land of entitlement.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So people think things should be handed to them. So to talk to somebody that's really put in the work to make something happen, I would love to talk to people like that. I mean, if anything, selfishly, you and I will be like even more charged up.
I have said this before, and I don't do it anymore. But even when you and I were living together, that I don't want that to sound creepy. But
we dated,
and yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Speaking of the Seinfeld episodes, not that there's anything wrong with it. But no,
speaking of dating ourselves and how old we are, we're talking about Seinfeld episodes.
But for many years, when my uncle first gave me the Journey DVD, and I've actually told Eric this, and he's if he remembers me at all, that's what he'll remember about me, is when I got that DVD, I watched it every single month, once a month, for literally nearly 10 years, 15 years. I would watch it because it was kind of my, motivation to keep doing what I was doing. Because that was the whole point of this. And then when I, left college more than once, I left college more than once to pursue the hockey thing. And I would have family members kind of questioning that, in particular, the ones that gave me that DVD. And I said, my response would be, this is kind of your fault.
Yeah.
Kind of your fault, because I was hesitant to chase this dream, and you gave me that DVD, and Eric told me in that DVD to chase your damn dreams and go after it, and I did it, and I am thrilled to this day that I did. And if, again, I don't want to sound cheesy, and I'm saving some of this for when Tyler's on, but there is the whole idea that the people I've met along the way, including you, would never have happened had I not done that.
100%. I mean, I ended up in Dallas because the guy who got me started at the gym business in Florida is like, I need you to come help me in Dallas. And without even thinking, I was like,
of course, this would be the time you freeze.
Did I? Oh, am I back?
We're getting all sappy and you freeze.
Yeah, Riverside's like personality shift. Something's going on. It's AI.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like kind of just going for it. And ended up out in Dallas, which it's funny, as much as I don't like heat, that was the big thing with yesterday. It was so hot and so humid. And Dallas is brutal, but I loved living in Dallas. Like, I really liked it out there.
No, thank you. And I'm from there.
Yeah. Well, we already discussed.
Good God.
We've already discussed Cookie in Texas.
Speaking of heat, it is currently 7:30 at night here, and it is still 91 degrees.
Speaking of heat,
it's going to be 97 tomorrow while I'm in that damn warehouse. Oh, we got rain coming. Thank God.
Speaking of heat. I can
do that now. I haven't been hitting it anymore since I got the new mic and set up.
Honestly, I've been hoping for it. But speaking of heat,
earlier, I actually did hit it.
Oh, son of a! It's all right. I'll find it. I'll find it on the edit, you bastard.
It was light, but I did.
Speaking of heat, like this is not going to be a political thing, but the talk of the world right now is South Park. South Park's approval ratings, I think I saw they went up like.
I'm sorry, I got to stop you. It has taken us an hour and 8 minutes to get to this. And when we texted earlier, this was what was going to be starting this whole thing.
Yeah, but you know, typical us.
I know.
This South Park thing, I think their viewership or something went up like over 650%, or it was their TV ratings for it. But I know everybody knows about the South Park thing. Like, so the very small version, Paramount was bought out, or Paramount bought another subsidy for.
No, they were bought out.
They were bought out. That's right. They were bought out by somebody. Such a big deal. President Trump himself has to sign the thing on this, like approving the whole thing.
No sense.
Yeah, whatever. That's the thing where I don't want to get too much involved in stuff like that because I don't understand it enough. Like world controversial things, unless it's blatantly obvious, I'm not going to weigh in simply because I don't know. I'm not going to blindly take a side. But anyway, they had to do that, and then Paramount canceled Colbert, the late night show, and they're not bringing a new host in; they're canceling it completely. And then what is up with this face? What are you gonna say?
Nothing yet.
That's like anybody. They don't even need to know you to know something's brewing over there. But anyway, they canceled Colbert and the whole late night show, which the late night show has been going on since the 50s. Maybe not that particular one, but like we're talking about Johnny Carson and.
Well, no, that's a different one. That's where Kimmel is.
Oh yeah. But I mean the whole premise of these shows.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and the Late Late Show started actually back in minimum the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, because it was the show after Letterman. And then, wait, is this the Late Late Show or the Late Show?
I'll be honest with you, I don't know. Because they've changed.
Well, it is important, actually. Let me see.
Use the Google.
I'm doing it right now. Shut up. Because it is and look, let's be honest, this is something we should have researched ahead of time if we're going to talk about it. And actually,
this is also kind of proof that like it's
sound like we know what the hell we're talking about.
I never said I knew.
That's fair. You didn't. Okay, yeah, this is important. I'm glad we did that. That he took over for Letterman. So this isn't the Late Late Show that went on after Letterman that I think Conan did for a while until he went to TBS. This was like one of the big two. It was Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, then it became Leno, and it was the Late Show with Dave Letterman, and then it was Colbert. So this isn't like one of the after shows that are still great, like phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, there's some unbelievable hosts, and they all showed up the other day, which was awesome. But yeah, anyways, so this is a money maker for CBS.
Yeah, and still canceled it. And the canceling of them, this is actually something I don't know. You're right. We should have done more research in it. It's just been such like a whirlwind.
But things, well, I shouldn't say things have been happening fast, because this whole thing, as far as the merger, the deal, whatever, has been long in the making.
Yeah, because that takes forever.
All of a sudden, everything here lately has been going like
there's a volcano.
Yeah, it's just kind of like exactly. It's exploded here in the last week or so.
Yeah, and like so, then Paramount gives South Park a $1.5 billion deal because South Park still brings in that many viewers. And speaking of college, I mean, I remember the Jesus versus Santa Claus fight that was on like these secret VHS tapes.
And as I told you earlier, I was never a big South Park guy. I did see the movie. I will forever laugh my ass off at Blame Canada, but I was never a big South Park guy, never a big Simpsons guy. I kind of sort of did Beavis and Butthead, but only because of the music side of it. You and I talked about that the other day too, but I never got into it. But I was also very, very aware of the cultural phenomenon that is South Park, not was, but is. And with what we're discussing right now, that was just taken even to another level.
Well, yeah, and I think they were responsible for a lot of FCC rules being changed
Well,
because
by
of
the
the
way,
words they said.
between the Simpsons and South Park, they have predicted a lot of things.
Yeah, that's a whole different.
Oh my God,
that's a whole different thing. But like South Park, and everybody already knows. Like I don't need to explain. But the things is like with South Park going over an absolute deliberate attack on Trump, not just from him like getting mad at anybody who disagrees with him and portraying that, but like just calling it like the little penis syndrome. So like that's with the painting and when he took off his pants. But then he ends up in bed with Satan, which is an homage to when it was Saddam Hussein in bed with Satan.
yeah. But this is what I find hilarious is it wasn't just the attack on him. And again, we're not going to get into the political side of it. I mean, I don't give a shit. I'll say it right now. I'm not a fan. I don't like the guy, but whatever. That's neither here nor there for this, because what I find even funnier is the instant attack they did on the company that just paid them like over $1 billion.
And they're going to, now the contract's acted, they're going to get paid regardless.
And that goes back to the Colbert thing. You and I talked about it. Like Colbert's still got 10 months. I was joking with someone the other day going, he's going to be wheels off full throttle for the next 10 months. Do we really think he's going to last that long? But then the obvious answer is yes, because everybody's going to watch and they're going to make a fortune.
Yeah, I mean, that's the funny part is like, we're talking about going full send. Both of these are full send. But that's the thing is like now ratings are going to be up, which it's like they're dogging on the those signing the checks. They're literally biting the hand that feeds them.
Yeah, but they don't care because the sponsorships are going to be astronomical.
Honestly, if it continues in this pattern, it's going to rival Super Bowl ads.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
And
unbelievable.
Like, go watch the South Park episode, whatever side you're on.
Well, yeah. And you're talking about Colbert, who's still on CBS, one of the big 4 networks. In South Park, I mean, there's a reason why Paramount was like, go for it, I guess, but don't do this. Well, we're going to do it anyways. When you talk about the little penis thing.
Yeah.
They're not on the major network. They're on the app. That app is now probably got their subscription base probably tripled overnight.
Minimum. Let's here talk about something. I'm gonna look that up.
Something. But no, it's just again, I will say this. I know I said this a minute ago about my feelings on this. We are not making this channel about politics, but there are going to be things where we can't avoid it. When we're going to do a sports one here, we've talked about it since day one. We haven't done it yet. We're going to do a sports one on cost, and we're not going to be able to avoid tariff talk. So just be prepared. Anyways, did you find it?
No, we're not going to bring politics in. We're more of a having a good time kind of crew here.
Clearly.
To kind of quote Shane Gillis a little bit. Speaking of another person in controversy, actually it's not. Shane doesn't give a crap, and he killed it.
Yeah, but, I'm not a fan of his either. But
I love Shane Gillis. He's great. But no, there's nothing in here that says anything about the app growth. But it does say it does say just dominating. It's South Park, Paramount, and dominating. Sure. I mean, it's kind of a unreal thing. But I mean, South Park has pushed those buttons the whole time. So it's not like Paramount was like, they'll behave. I think everybody knew exactly what they were getting.
Like we talked about the other day, they were at Comic-Con pretty soon after that. And, they went through the whole normal Comic-Con group process of answering questions. And one of the questions was, and full disclosure, I have not watched it because, again, I'm not a South Park guy. But at this point, you'd have to be on another planet to not have heard about it or seen clips or heard clips or whatever. And I've seen and heard clips.
It's making national news on both sides.
Yeah, 100%. And so this question came up about, you did this, you had, whether it was the part where they were making fun of 60 Minutes or whatever. I don't even remember the exact question, so I apologize for that. And I don't know which one it was, Trey Parker or what's his name, but
Matt Stone.
Matt Stone, yeah, sorry. I'm kind of wound up now. I can't even remember the names. But they their response to the question was, "We're sorry."
I didn't see
They
it.
clearly weren't. I mean, that was the most obvious thing ever.
No, I think those two guys with the money they're getting now can finally have their Scrooge McDuck coin vault room where they can get a diving board and start swimming through the coins.
I suspect they've had that already for a while. Let's be honest. I mean,
But
basketball alone.
I loved basketball.
We should do a reaction to basketball.
We should go to Comic-Con one time.
Okay.
I don't read comics. I'm not into that stuff. But come on, man. Tell me that wouldn't be fun.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm gonna text you something that nobody is allowed to see.
I mean, they do kind of a version of it here in Springfield, and I see those people.
Stop.
And I'm just like, what's wrong with you? You're weird. By the way, side subject, and it's so funny that I'm even going to bring this up on something that's not going out till Monday or Tuesday, but we've been invited to a live with Adam.
Yeah, they're playing Mario Kart.
I get it, dude. I do get that. I get it. I got his text. I understand that. I truly do understand that.
By the way, everybody's seeing these marks. I didn't have that good of a night last night. That's my camera strap from 9 hours in the heat.
That's what he's
in the
saying.
sun. Cliff, I appreciate the fact you think I had that kind of night. Thanks, man. But
You're
it's
welcome.
not.
Based on the text you just sent me, you're welcome.
Yeah, you know, that part would be.
I get what you're saying in the text. I do. I am a fat ass 50-year-old dude, almost 50-year-old dude. I think we can rule anything out at this point.
Hey, man, I'm never going to want to own a Ferrari. You know what? This is going to go too far. So
we've been borderline. We've been borderline.
There it is. If I'm catching myself, something bad's happening.
Yeah, that's very true.
But
very true.
But yeah, the South Park thing. It's like I don't think I've talked to anybody where we didn't talk about the South Park episode and everything going on with it. Like it's forcing people. Here's a positive about it. Here's a positive about them doing this. It's forcing people to talk while using comedy, because that's what comedy is. Comedians are constantly on being attacked, but
100%.
They're here to make people laugh and to make light of serious things.
And as I've said now, and I've told you this about, I don't want anybody to take the fact that I don't watch South Park or even The Simpsons, but South Park in particular, to not appreciate the cultural phenomenon. And whether some people like it or not, hello boomer, it actually, as much as you may not want to admit it, it's an important part of the conversation, because like you said, as comedy is so phenomenal at doing when it's done right, it gets you talking.
And it's so important. People don't realize comedy is so important.
100%. I'll give a recommendation to everybody now, because one of the things, and again, don't take this as a political thing, for God's sake.
They're going to do it anyway.
I know they are. When I'm out doing, so I think I've said I have a second job just to help pay the bills. I deliver auto parts. So when I'm out delivering auto parts, I listen to satellite radio, and one of the main things I listen to is there's a channel on satellite radio. If you haven't found it, believe me, go to it. Don't let the name of it throw you off. It's CNN Originals. And I know a lot of people don't like CNN. I don't really give a damn. Wolf Blitzer is my hero. But CNN Originals is a channel of all their like documentaries, and there's some really cool stuff, like really, really cool stuff. All the Anthony Bourdain stuff's on there, W. Kamau Bell, all this stuff. But anyways, they have a show on there, and it's also actually it's on Max. I was about to say this is ironic because I think it's on Paramount, but no, it's on Max. There's a channel on Max that's got the CNN documentaries as well, but there's one called, and it's a series, The History of Comedy. And it is phenomenal. And one or actually more than one of the episodes is about this very topic, how comedy opens those kind of conversations about whether it's politics or religion or whatever. It starts those conversations. And also there's a reminder at the end of the day. I literally, before we started recording, I was telling you, I think I just found my new favorite comedian. But it's a reminder that they're starting the conversations, but also remember it's a comedy show. You can't take it serious what they're saying, because even the guy saying it may not believe it. And Stephen Colbert is a prime example. His name's not Stephen Colbert. That's the character on the Daily Show when he first started, where he was this hardcore conservative pundit.
Yeah, wasn't he also like he was like a side thing.
That was his character on the Daily Show. And he's just he kept the Stephen Colbert name. It was Stephen Colbert or whatever it was. It was still his name. He just kind of altered it for this personality for the Daily Show. And when he was on the Daily Show, he played a character of this hardcore conservative guy, which he's clearly not. But it's comedy. But the best part about comedy, when you don't take offense to what's being said, whether you're at the White House Correspondents' Dinner and Michelle Wolf is tearing you to shreds, or whoever it is, and I love Michelle Wolf, and she got so much shit for what she said that night. Or when Barack Obama brings up what's his name to be the angry black translator, which was the funniest damn thing. Oh my God, it was the funniest shit ever.
This guy's Keegan-Michael Key?
I think it was. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, dude, it was the funniest. But you can't. All they're doing is trying to entertain, and the best ones are trying to entertain and start the conversation.
Yeah.
And that's what South Park does so well. As much as I'm not a fan of that particular show, I do like those. I like Stone and Parker. I love those guys because they're brilliant, like absolutely brilliant. And their give a shit factor is, you'd like to say it's zero, but it's not. They do give a shit. That's why they do what they do. And it's brilliant, and it starts these conversations. And that episode that is making national and world news right now has started the conversation. And I 100% respect the fact that not only are they going after the president just because they enjoy doing it. And by the way, they're equal opportunity. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah.
But they're going after the company that just paid them over $1 billion. They don't give a damn about that. They want to be who they are.
That's why I initially started to nod when you're like, their give a shit factory. And I was like, or I was nodding no, maybe.
Well,
I was saying like
myself.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Is like, they give a shit about what's happening in the world tremendously. They don't give a shit about how they're going to be perceived.
Well, they don't care who they offend.
No, not at all. I mean,
Baseball is a hilarious movie, but it offends a shitload of people.
Everybody. It offends everybody.
Again, equal opportunity. They don't give a damn. They don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. They're going to rip every one of you to shreds.
That's what I loved about Family Guy all these years. They've torn apart every demographic on the planet using comedy to do it.
Best comedians do.
Yeah, they really do. And like, I've loved stand-up comedy. And stand-up comedy is not a new thing. I mean, remember when we're talking about the Late Show or the Tonight Show or whatever they were called, they were done by comedians. The comedians were the hosts. And that's why when you watch an award show, who hosts them? Not a TV anchor.
Dude, go watch Lewis Black. Go watch Ricky Gervais.
Lewis Black he's a guy I wish I could see. He lives here in DC. He doesn't really perform much anymore because I'm pretty sure
him on the show. Yeah, and he's older now, but
let's
get his ass on the show.
Yeah, because he doesn't have a reputation of being cantankerous and not wanting to deal with shit. So I'm sure.
No, not at all. Yeah, not at all.
I'm sure I could just knock on his door and be like, hey.
But you know what's funny? He's also one of those guys. You say that, but he's also one of those guys that off the stage I've read that he's, not surprisingly, just a really gentle, kind person.
My favorite, I think one of my favorite things is him when he was in Accepted. That movie Accepted with Justin Long. Son of a bitch. So it's funny because I was going to ask, like, because we were talking about like how a lot of people push the narrative on things. And I was going to say, it's like with the give a shit factor, it's like, there's sometimes some things, no matter how well it's received, some places hate it. And like, for me, my movie example, everybody loves it. I've took shit for my whole life. The movie Napoleon Dynamite, I hate it. I hate that movie so much. I can quote the whole freaking thing.
I love that movie.
Because I know, because of how many times people have watched it around me. I could quote the whole thing, but I hated the movie. And I don't even have a good reason I do. honestly. Like, I love the fact that it was.
I've got plenty of things that I can say that about.
Yeah, and I think I love, because I love things. I love that it was filmed so low budget. I love it took people who were nobodies at the time. And then, like, I love watching, like, I watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The one who plays Mac's mom is the mom from that. And there's times where I quote the movie that I didn't even like. And it's ridiculous. Like, I'll never be able to ever be friends or date a person named Tina because of their emu or llama or whatever the hell pet they had.
My first girlfriend was named Tina.
Yeah, well, Tina, you deserve all you get. I don't know. You might be a good person. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Great person. She's doing well. We're friends. Yeah. Thanks, Dick.
Who else but John?
By the way, another one I want to add to the list of comedians that start the conversation and have no filter and also don't hold back. And I know 100% you're going to appreciate this. Jim Jeffries. And the best part about him is he pisses people off so much in this country because he's from Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells the truth.
Yep. Outside perspective is often pretty good because they don't get our news.
Yep. No, and I've told you a lot. When I'm watching, I actually told my dad this. I don't watch much TV anymore. I am on YouTube constantly, and it has nothing to do with what we're doing. It's been like that for years, and I primarily watch British television and British comedies and British panel shows, and yeah, and getting the perspective of what's going on here from over there is kind of intense, and I like, yeah, you're not wrong.
You know what's funny though is there's a divide in the UK on our government, which is always pretty funny. Because like you'll talk to people over there, it's like, oh, I love Trump, and you know, people are like, Trump's a scumbag, and I'm just like, oh my god, dude, I can't escape this. But that's how much of an influence we as a country have in the rest of the world, which is why it's but that's why it's so important that the conversations are being had and whatever your beliefs are. And you know, if anybody could take any page out of my book, it's don't blindly take the side of something. And when I say do research, I don't mean go online and just look at whatever news article. Like, do real research. Like, there's things going on in the world that have been going on for a bit that, I'll be honest with you, I don't know what side to choose because I don't understand it, and because each side's argument is really valid. And it's like, it's hard to say what part of it, and not necessarily valid, but like I empathize with their viewpoints.
Well, let's just say there are even the ones that I am 100% sure I know what side I'm on. I can also say I can slightly understand the other side's argument, even though it's bullshit. I understand why. Let me put it that. I understand why they feel that way, even if I don't agree with it, because I am very, very, very clear in my brain that it's wrong. But I understand why they might feel that way, and that's the same in our own country. Listen,
if you're looking for political ideologies that you need to follow, we're not your guys.
no, but I will say this. I do, as you kind of alluded to, it's the debate and the conversation is what's important. As long as you're not going into it tone deaf, you need to have the open mind. Even if you walk out of it and your mind hasn't changed one bit, no matter which side of the spectrum you're on, even if your argument hasn't changed, you need at least to have, and that's what's really hard these days. It's hard to have those conversations to where someone's not coming out of it or just screaming, yelling through it and not taking the time to actually listen to the other person. Because I might be on one side of the argument. I know I am, especially in the places I live, but I will listen to that argument and understand with empathy where they're coming from. Even if I don't agree with it, I can understand why they might be angry, why they might be scared. I might be angry and scared for completely different reasons, and maybe we can find a way to, merge.
Well, and that's the thing. That's the difference between like communication and finding a way to be cohesive versus actually just acting like an extremist,
which is so not happening right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just like. Because here's the thing: no matter which way you lean, there's absolutely extremists on both sides that are so irrational that they're the ones who are used as an example for an entire party
Exactly.
And it's just like, oh, well, they're all going to be this. Like, what does the right say about the left? It's like, oh, you're going to be some blue-haired crying girl or whatever it is. And then on the right, it's like, oh, I can't like anybody on the right. Every one of them's a racist Nazi. And I'm just like, Jesus. It's like,
yeah. No, you're exactly right.
Yeah, and I mean, there's things that are sort of in the middle. There's things that teeter on both sides, and it's the problem is people's inability and unwillingness to listen and find some of the common grounds. Unfortunately, that's not a new thing. Social media only makes it more known, but it's always been the case. If you ever want to see something funny, go look at the arguments against each other for the second presidential election between John Adams and
by the way,
Alexander Hamilton, I think.
That's another one of the documentaries on that channel that I listen to. Is they have a whole series of essentially discussing presidential elections from way back all the way up to, you know, more modern since we've been alive elections, and kind of the backhanded shit that was going on, you know, even back in the, you know, 20s and 30s and all that. It's just unbelievable. But they didn't have, it wasn't to the exponential level that it is now because of social media.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is like a lot of stuff that's going on in the world has not increased, I don't think. It's just you hear about it more.
Yeah, and I'm not going to sit here, and I don't think you are either, going to be that, you know, go to bed boomer guy about, you know, ripping completely on social media. For God's sake, look at what we're doing. I mean, we're capitalizing on it, hopefully. But, you know, I think and I think most people agree with this, that Twitter, I refuse to call it X, Twitter is an absolute cesspool. There's no question. Of all the social medias, it is without, I don't think there's any argument, it is the worst of the worst. But yeah, you
can see everything on Twitter. You can see there's absolute nudity and sex on Twitter. You can watch somebody get assaulted or killed.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Because there was something else we were going to talk about, but I think we'll save it for another day, even though it just happened, the Wisconsin thing. That video is all over. Or Michigan, sorry, yeah. But can you imagine Twitter existing during Watergate, or Twitter existing, I mean, not just Watergate, but during Kennedy years and the Clinton year? I mean, God, name any of them, frankly. I mean,
imagine honestly, Kennedy's assassination if everybody had a cell
phone. Oh my dear God. Well, we probably have a better idea of exactly what happened.
That's true.
Because of all the phones that would have been out that day. And that's, again, coming from a Dallas native.
Might have prevented it happening.
As John knows, and I'm not going to get into detail here because that'll create a whole other thing, but John is aware that there is a bit of a family connection with me.
That's one of the greatest stories, though. And it's one of the craziest things.
One of these days, maybe we'll tell it.
We'll get all the images together.
And let me just say, the connection has nothing to do with actually what happened. It happened well before, but it is pretty remarkable. And I mean, funny is not the right word, but yeah.
It's facetious. Like, in the cosmic connection of it all is
it's a little wild that there is a family connection with me in that day.
Well, and then here's the crazy. It's not really that crazy, but
I'm really not helping my cause trying to explain this, because someone's gonna like.
You know what? Let them talk. You know, the other wild part.
FBI's gonna be at my door soon.
And my birthday was the day he was assassinated, and I remember being a kid. And my mom's like, "Yeah, and your name's John. Isn't that weird?" I'm like, "You named me.
You named?
It's not weird at all. This is terrible." It was like 15 years after he got killed in 1963. I was born in 1978, and I'm like, not weird. And I'll be honest with you, it is an ominous thing though, because like that place, the 10, I used to play it all the time. It's literally right across the street.
Sort of. It's
like kind of, or around the corner.
It's not, it's a couple blocks down. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I've gone and stood on the X's, and like you can see the book depository.
That's when you know you didn't grow up there, because I've just driven by there. You actually didn't grow up there, so you became the tourist and had to go look at all that shit.
Oh, I did. I almost got hit by 2 cars, but
that doesn't surprise me either.
But even every time I drove past there, I would have to take a look.
Like even as a native down there, when I drive through there, like whether it was going to see you or doing the Deep Ellum stuff, and I would do a shortcut, as ironic as that sounds, a shortcut through downtown Dallas to get back on the highway from Deep Ellum.
That's a real thing, though.
It is, yeah. You don't want to get on the highway from Deep Ellum. You need to go through town. It's quicker, trust me. But I was anytime I was there, I was very aware of where I was, and I would take a peek at the school book depository. I would look for the X's. I would look at the grassy knoll.
It's weird. It's eerie because it's not changed much in that immediate area.
No, that hasn't really changed at all, frankly.
So it's because you can look at pictures and you can recognize it immediately. And that shortcut through downtown to get to the highway, especially when like going back out to like Hearst and Euless where we were. There's a very famous speeding drive I did going back out there one day for something that I will never speak of on here. In my old Mitsubishi Eclipse convertible, let me tell you, I pushed that thing to the max to get down there one day, and it's for the best reason ever. But that's all we're gonna say. But yeah, it's that shortcut through downtown Dallas was.
You wouldn't think, because there's a lot of stoplights. You know, it's like any major city. There's a lot of stoplights to go through, but it's still way more of a quick route to hit all those stoplights than try and deal with that really spiderweb maze of highways around downtown to get where you need to be.
Yeah, I remember when I first moved to Dallas, I was on my way to work, and I was like, the place I stayed was like one of those extended stay hotels. It was on the south side of Dallas, and I had to get up to Mesquite. So I'm taking, I think, is that 395? What highway is that goes around?
Well, you're talking about 635, but that's not through downtown.
No, it goes around downtown. It's like where all those highways are, kind of circle.
Well, it never gets anywhere near downtown, 635.
It's something that went around it, because when I was staying in the south side of Dallas, I take the highway to get up to Mesquite, which is on the eastern side of Dallas.
Yeah. Which you would eventually been on like 20.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was. I just remember being on the highway my first day, and I was flying. Like, I was probably going like 70, 75 miles an hour, and a cop pulls up behind me. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm gonna get pulled over and get a ticket my first day. Cop flips on his lights, and I'm like, oh, here we go. I was in the far left lane. I start going over the right lane. As soon as I got over, he turned his lights off. He just wanted to get right by me. He could not give a crap what I was doing. I was just like, my heart is racing. I'm like,
you get on like the tollway in particular, and it's Indy 500. So
yeah, that was actually, like I said, I enjoyed living in Dallas, but again, I wasn't there that long. And then when I ended up living in Addison for the little while before I
remember that, yeah,
before I occupied the Plex, which is where dreams were made of. Let me tell you,
that's what you want to call it.
Hey, man, we will have a lifetime of stories from one location. So, but
I've blocked most of that out, other than the night and walking back.
I thought that was great. I'm pretty sure it was. I'm looking at the map right now. I'm pretty sure it was 635 or 20.
You were much further north than downtown.
Yeah, I was actually way outside of it. You're right. I think it's just because I remember you could see it from where I was. Yeah, it was 20 going up to. I think does 20 turn into 635? Is that what I'm seeing?
No, it just runs into it. 635 is a big loop, kind of like
yeah.
Then there's loop 12 and. Yeah.
What did I say at first? What was the highway I said at first? Like
639 or something, or 930.
I think I said even better. I think I said 695, which 95 goes up from Maine to Miami.
Yeah.
So that's stupid. You would have thought living.
You probably took 75 north to 20, or 20 would have been not too far away from where you were. Actually,
no, I was staying kind of basically.
You would have hit 30. No, 30 was south there too. This is how much I blocked my hometown out. I don't even remember now.
This is still the episode, by the way.
Again, welcome to our world.
Yeah, but but that's funny because that's kind
already turning into our longest one ever, and it was the Seinfeld episode where we were talking about nothing.
Yeah, well, you know what? We need the hours. So, but that's kind of the thing, though. It's kind of where it rounds up to. It's just all this stuff that we're talking about, all these different things, are just because of. First of all, pressing go when you had an opportunity to press go, and through whatever it was, and it's like there's not really any moral lesson here, but with everything that's happening in the world, whether it's political and the tension you feel from politics, or whether it's just different events going on in the world. Which the thing you were talking about is the Michigan stabbings. I don't think anybody's passed from that, which is great.
You know, it sounds like everybody's gonna survive.
Huh?
It sounds like everybody's gonna survive.
Yeah, which is awesome. But what a like you just want to go to Walmart, man, and you end up having a traumatic experience like that. But then right down to just again, please comment on here even if you only get as far as the mental health part before we just completely go off the rails. I want to hear what's making everybody else tick. I want to hear what's holding them back, something they're itching to do that they just really want to do. Like, let us know. And then once again, thank you so much to all the people that have subscribed, who have been engaging, who's been engaging on socials. Please, everybody, kick on over to YouTube and see everything there. It's greatly appreciated, and we're enjoying doing this. We want to be able to keep doing it, and we hope. I don't know. Cookie probably doesn't give a shit about you, but I hope everybody's enjoying it.
Wow, you're such a jerk. Of course I do. Of course I care, even though I'm the worst at showing it.
Yeah, he really does. Actually, you've been great showing it through these episodes. So
I told you I'm excited again. I'm energized. I'm a new man. Fuck off.
I didn't say it.
You don't have to say it, you dick.
Like and subscribe, everybody. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry. Let's do your thing.